Hello everyone, Statname here. Today we're gonna break down a game of one of the top regulars from iPoker. We're gonna go over some of his hands and hopefully we will learn something from it. Here you can see our hero's nickname. His win rate is around 9 BBs per 100 for more than 30k hands. If we scroll down a little bit, we can see what stakes he is playing. He mostly plays NL 100. He was very successful there, a really good win rate, and he also tried NL 200 and NL 400. And the results are not very good. Maybe these were his first tries on those stakes. Or maybe he was just unlucky when trying those stakes. Anyways, overall, his results, his win rate is quite decent. And pretty consistent as well. Alright, now let's go over some of his hands, and the first hand is right here. This one is probably the most questionable of all of the hands we are gonna go over today. Anyways, he open raises small blind, faces a 3-bet, answers with the standard sized 4-bet, and gets a call. We hit a top pair on the flop and start with the bet. I'd prefer betting of a quarter of a pot, but third of a pot is also fine. EV difference is pretty much non-existent. He calls, we get a 6 of clubs on the turn, a really good card for us in terms of improving our equity. We have now a combo draw, so we have a top pair, a straight draw and a flush draw, but our top pair is quite weak. Anyways, our hero has decided to check this one. I think it's a great decision. We control this side of the pot this way, and our hand is not vulnerable at all. And he checks back. Another 6 on the river, we bet for a thin value, and face a shove. So what to do here? Should we call or should we fold? Well, first of all, we have to realize that we only beat bluffs here. He would never raise for value in this situation. With the hand weaker than ours, so we never beat any value. So we want to know if our opponent is capable of bluffing enough here, and so we have to study him. Okay, here he is, our opponent, 3125, 13% 3-bet, which is good. He 3-bets wide, and a small blind versus big blind, 21% 3-bet, which is wider than the average for the pool. And it's great that he 3-bets wider, because it means that he has more potential bluffs and more medium strength hands in his range. We also want to check out his aggression. Aggression frequencies are 45, 38, 40 by street, and it is quite high as well, so he is aggressive, great. He also knows how to raise, 16, 9 and 14 his raise percentage per street. And his 1-1 soft flop is 49, 1 at showdown 45, which is quite low. So everything we see here screams that this guy knows how to bluff and knows how to value bet thinly. Okay, now back to the hand. We know that this is the type of opponent we are okay with bluff catching against. Although we should also realize that this call would, in any case, be very unpleasant for us. It's a nasty spot and we will never make a lot of money by calling here. So yeah, eventually we do call, and he shows pocket nines. So our opponent slow played his set on the flop, and what is more important, he also checked back on the turn. So yeah, we got caught. Are there any ways for us to avoid losing our whole stack here? Well, maybe the only option I see personally is to check instead of betting on the river. I mean, we could just check call here and lose a little less maybe. I also think overall check calling is a decent option. Alright, to the next hand, pocket kings, we 4-bet on the big blind. Small blind calls, we see bet on the flop, he calls again. 10 on the turn, completing some straights and 2 pairs. But we continue betting, he calls again, we have a blank 6 on the river, and he dong bets. Well, I don't really believe he could play like this with 7, 8 suited. So yeah, this is why I said that 6 is a blank pretty much. Anyways, the question is what to do with our kings. Well, of course, it's tempting to call here. Pots are great, but again, it's a lot of money, and we would like to know more about our opponent before making such a decision. Here's our guy, 3420. Well, it means that he's most likely a recreational player because the gap between VPIP and PFR is too big. Usually, if the difference is bigger than 8, then it is not a regular that we are facing. So yeah, most likely it's a recreational player who is just trying to use some sort of a preflop chart. Or maybe it's a recreational player that is just, well, let's say, quite tight preflop. Well, it doesn't seem reasonable to check his other stats because we only have around 200 hands on him. Oh, we can check his 3-bet as well. 7.1. Not too wide, but also not that neaty. So considering Villain is a recreational player and we get really nice spot odds, I lean more towards calling. Because I believe he can still overplay hands like King Queen, Ace Queen. So we do call and he shows King 10. Well, that was quite unexpected. I mean, a hand with a showdown value. Anyways, for us it means that our decision was right. I mean, the decision to call his dong bet shove. And a final hand for today. Hand number 3, we have pocket queens. We open raise cutoff. Face a 3-bet from the button and we answer with a very non-conventional 4-bet. The standard size here would be like around 20 big blinds, but we raise 35. The stacks are a little deeper, but anyways, the sizing is still very far from standard. Anyways, he shoves and we call. Well, the questions are, is it fine to call his shove? And was our choice of sizing good? And to answer it, we again want to know who are we facing here. Alright, we can definitely see that this is a recreational player and a very weak one. He also has a huge 3-bet of 26.2. He definitely 3-bets a lot of stuff, and in this situation, when we raise and face a 3-bet from him, I mean in this situation right here, we definitely want to stack off with our queens. It's the top of our range and we beat a lot of stuff in his range. And we also don't want to use standard sizings against a guy like this. He will most likely make a lot of mistakes against a bigger size here. And we want to stack off. So yeah, I think it's a great decision to 4-bet that big. And the result is also great for us. Our opponent shows pocket 5s, he definitely overplayed his hand, and we got a stack from him this way, and it is just amazing for us. And this is it for today. Thank you for watching, have a nice day.